What's up, guys? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. Tonight is another night. It's the final night of the Keto Rewind Total Carb Challenge. Okay, so for the month of August, I have been pumping out weekly meal plans where I am showing you what I'm eating every day, plus macros, basically showing the total carbs in the day, versus every other month I've had my channel, I've been doing net carbs. So, and then tomorrow we'll do a recap of the total carb challenge. Did I lose weight any better, any worse, more, than the traditional by tracking net carbs? What did I learn? What are my thoughts on tracking total carbs or net carbs going forward? And basically an overall recap and summary. So so this video doesn't get super long, we'll just save that to put all that in the next video. So anyways, I'm going to walk you through lunch, what I had today. I can show you I had my snack, which is black coffee, heavy cream, and unflavored collagen by Perfect Keto's unflavored collagen. And then some days I do equip unflavored collagen, it doesn't really matter. But use my link down below and save if you are interested in a delicious collagen that's a grass-fed collagen. So anyways, I'm going to show you lunch and then I'll meet you right back here for dinner. And tonight, as you probably saw, we're having steak and veggies. And it's a veggie I have not shown on this channel yet. So see you in a little bit. All right, we have scrambled eggs and sausage links today for the delicious breakfast, or I should say lunch. And I did put a little bit of boars and cheese in there as well. And say hello to my lunch buddy. Okay, so it's dinner time and we're going to have, this is so easy and so delicious, cabbage steaks. So yes, we're having actual steak too as the protein, but my veggie today is going to be cabbage steaks. I love to make cabbage steaks. I'm going to show you how I make them and why you want to try this. So when the cabbage cooks in oil in the oven and roasts, it gets a little sweeter and it's so good. You've got to try it. There's a bunch of ways you can do it, but to make things easy, I'm just going to show you a sliced version. I have done this where I have just shredded this kind of like lettuce and put it in a pan that way to make sure that everything gets that nice caramelized taste. But for presentation and ease, we're just going to make this into steak. So anyways, let me turn this camera around and we'll get started making dinner tonight. Okay, and obviously I'm wearing the same shirt as I was wearing yesterday, but I'm honestly filming these videos in the same day. And this girl is not making more laundry for herself. So it's the same, it's the same day for me, even though it's gonna be in two different videos. But check out the shirts down below. I'm wearing the large. This is a great thought process that you gotta have your whole journey. Do it, don't quit. It's a great shirt. So use the link down below. Anyone who purchases the shirts or the Keto Rewind merch, it goes to support what I do on this channel. So thank you for everybody that has purchased shirts up to this point. So anyways, I have T-bone steaks here. We're going to split this between all of us here, the four of us. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to put yellow mustard and Worcestershire sauce and salt and pepper. That's it, each side, and throwing that on the grill. So I'm not gonna waste time and make this video super long. I think you can pretty much take what I mean. So let me turn the camera a little bit more so you can see what we're doing. Okay, so I'm gonna take the outer leaves off here. And all I'm gonna do, just make sure you get all the ones that are, anything that's dirty. You're supposed to eat a pound of dirt before you die, so. But this is so easy, and let me show you. All you're gonna need is a cutting board and a sharp knife. We're gonna use this one. Okay, so we're gonna make these literally into steaks. So instead of like dicing this all up and all that, I'm just going to literally slice this and thin thin little steak-like pieces. And I'm gonna guess it's a 1/2 inch wide. You can do it as thick or thin as you want. I find that they get cooked better, a little bit thinner, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So just do that for all of it. And my kids even eat this. So if you're wondering if kids would eat this, they do. And then once we get all of these steaks, I'm gonna put this on the cookie sheet. So set that aside. We're not gonna try and hurt anybody with that. And all we're gonna do is just transfer this whole steak right there. And try to keep it all together so it looks pretty. It's okay if it unravels. The only one that's gonna judge is like the food police, and I don't really care what they think. And then another one. And now that we got a little bit into, I'm just gonna cut that out so we don't have the stem in there. That won't taste very good. So we'll lose a little bit in the middle pieces, but the outside ones will be just perfect. And all we're gonna do is drizzle some avocado oil in there, and we're gonna roast them in the oven while our steaks cook. So then you just take the little bit that's left. You don't wanna waste any of it. So keep it all, it's delicious. Just because it's not in a pretty shape doesn't mean you have to toss it. So that's all my pan is gonna hold. So I'm gonna save this little bit for tomorrow. But I'll show you the next step. So I'm gonna start preheating my oven. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take, this is 1 tablespoon, and I'm gonna drizzle, and I can count how many tablespoons I put on here, because obviously this needs some type of oil so it can roast. So avocado oil, and I'm gonna just go ahead and start off with 1 tablespoon, and I'm gonna drizzle on each one. And I like to do probably like 2 tablespoons per person, but you know, it's gonna be actually how much the food actually needs. Just because it's 2 tablespoons per person, you know, it's just gonna vary on what your dinner actually needs. But to me, we are not afraid of oil in this family. All right, so I think that was 3. I was talking as I'm pouring, so hopefully that was 3. And then the next thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna salt and pepper them. And when this roasts in the oven, it will transform the flavor. If you've ever made like a goulash, or you've ever made a stir fry and you've added cabbage, that's essentially what it's gonna end up tasting like. It's just gonna be sweet and just delicious. So this is something that you can also throw on the grill, but because we're using our grill tonight and I don't want to get the smoker going, we're just going to put these in the oven. But I have grilled these the exact same way using my grilling mats and had an awesome turnout. So just a couple ways to do it. So anyways, these are ready for the oven. Wait till you see how cool these are going to look when they come out. I'll be right next. We're going to prepare the steak. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is season the steak. You can just put salt and pepper, throw them on the grill. You don't have to do this, but this is how I make my steaks. So I'm gonna salt and pepper them, and then I'm keeping a clean hand so that I don't cross-contaminate and all that jazz. So Worcestershire sauce does have sugar. The serving size is 1 teaspoon. So being that there's 4 of us tonight, I'm gonna put 4 teaspoons, or basically a heaping tablespoon. And I'm gonna spread that among this steak. So we'll see if I need that last teaspoon, but just to gauge or to judge how much I actually put on there. And now, before I flip it, I'm gonna put some mustard. Mustard is free. Don't be shy of mustard. Mustard has vinegar in it, so it's gonna tenderize it. Yeah, so don't be afraid of mustard. It tastes amazing on steak, I promise you. It doesn't taste like mustard. But while I'm on it, we're gonna salt and pepper each side here. And make sure it's good and mixed in. All right, we're gonna switch to the other side. And let this steak down here join the party. With salt. And don't be afraid of salt. Steak tastes really good salted. Looks like I need to refill my pepper. And some more mustard. And about a teaspoon more, so it's a big steak. A lot of that's gonna cook off as well, so don't stress when you're seasoning meats and putting them on the grill. A lot of it's gonna cook off. And by the way, these are T-bones, if I remember correctly. I think that's what my package said. And that's it. So now these are just gonna wait for the grill to heat up and they're gonna hop on. So that is how easy it is. So I'll meet you right back here when we get them on the grill. Okay, so we're gonna make keto pumpkin bars. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put all my dry ingredients in here. So I'm gonna start off with, we have 1 cup of almond flour. And I like to use whey protein powder in my baked goods. It gives for a really nice texture. I might have to open a new one. Let's see, so we have 1 scoop. All right, we got 2 scoops left. So 2 scoops, it's time to open a new one. And then the next thing we're gonna do is a quarter cup of coconut flour. One teaspoon of baking soda. A half teaspoon of salt. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. And make sure you're not using any spices that have sugar in them. I don't know if you can see those cabbage steaks that just came out of the oven there. They're just ready for a flip. A half teaspoon of ginger. Half teaspoon of nutmeg. And an 1/8 teaspoon of cloves. All right, so all we're gonna do right now is just mix this together and then we'll add our wet ingredients. All right, that's all mixed well and we're gonna add the wet ingredients next. So the first thing we're gonna do is add a half cup of butter. Melted butter, 2 eggs, I forgot to add my sweetener. So I need a half cup of monk fruit, and I'm also going to add about a whole dropper full of stevia. Sorry for all that noise. Kyle's got steaks on the grill. And vanilla. 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. All right, and then we'll let that mix really quickly. And I'm gonna get the pumpkin. And make sure you're using 100% pumpkin. It's not the pumpkin pie filling that's full of all the sugar. All right, let that go around, and then we're just gonna add some chocolate chips. We're gonna double check we get all the ingredients too. The chocolate chips are optional. So there's a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. This is the Lakanto chocolate chips. They are sweetened with monk fruit. But Lily's chocolate chips works just as fine, or just as well. All right, careful to not overmix it. And now we're gonna transfer this to a 9x13 cookie sheet. Okay, so now we're just gonna pop this in the oven, and we'll be back when it's time to enjoy these. All right, and there's the finished product. So this makes 12 servings, or 12 bars. And I believe it's 4 net carbs per bar. So, all right, I'll cut it up. Okay, so our cabbage steaks are out, and they are ready to enjoy. It is not burned. This is flavor, I promise you. It makes it taste so much sweeter and so much more delicious. So next I'm gonna cut up the steak, and we will show you what my plate looks like. All right, here's the steak, and we're gonna cut this up. Okay, so here is my plate. I have 1 cabbage steak, and I have about 5 ounces of steak. And that's cooked. Yummy. And I kid you not, if you have not ever had roasted cabbage steaks, you are missing out. It's so sweet and so delicious. So that was dinner. And there's the close-up of the yummy pumpkin bar. Oh, that's good. You've got to make these. Okay, so this is going to be a funny one. All right, so I obviously have not put the keto pumpkin bar in yet, but I wanted to give you a little peek at what that does to my macros. So, and we're going to discuss that in an upcoming video. But, so I started off really good. Lunch, 3 scrambled eggs. Oh, I'm missing my Boursin cheese. Let me add that on here. B-O-U-R, cheese. And I had actually only 1 tablespoon. Okay, so my scrambled eggs consisted of 1/2 tablespoon of butter, 3 eggs, and a little bit of Boursin cheese mixed in, along with 3 sugar-free sausage links. And then for dinner, we did that T-bone. I had 5 ounces. It was cooked. I did not log the marinade because pretty much it all had cooked off. But the cabbage steaks, I did 4 ounces of cabbage steaks. I did measure that in raw before, so it's that's why it looks smaller. It shrunk a little when it cooked, but I got it before weight, and then I put 2 tablespoons of the avocado oil on it. So my snack was the same thing I have every day, is my keto coffee, which is my unflavored collagen, black coffee, and heavy cream. Now, the keto pumpkin bar that I gave you. So right now we're sitting at 8 grams of my total carbs. Really low carb day. My macros are pretty spot on. So look what happens when you add 1 tasty treat that's portioned out. Here it is right here. I have already logged it in to save some time. So that tray makes 12 servings. I felt that was a pretty generous serving. I think you could probably get more out of that in the future. I may even make that maybe like 16 servings or something like that. But anyway, so total carbs, look at the difference. 19 grams of total carbs in 1 serving. or 3 net carbs. So when you take out the sugar alcohols like the monk fruit, erythritol, and stevia, if you take that away and what you're left with is just, the carbs from the almond flour, the carbs from, the coconut flour, you're left with, the net carbs effect. So if you are counting total carbs, literally one protein pumpkin bar will wipe out your carb total for the day. So it's like this is quite the topic that I will be speaking about in the recap of this video, or I should say this total carb challenge series. So I will add my thoughts on that, but that is pretty crazy, the difference and the impact of one thing can do. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that to my macros for the day, and it goes bam. I went from having like no total carbs in a day to 27 just by adding this one protein bar. So, but overall, the rest of my macros were awesome, but the total carbs part is still, I'm over. But interesting stuff. So think about this when you have anything think about this if you are tracking total carbs versus net carbs. And what is your takeaway? I will give you my takeaway in the next video.